All right, well, let's get started. The first one is the Wise Little Hen.
So wise indeed.
Yeah.
I don't know really what makes her wise.
Nothing. She was not wise.
She pulls the rug out on these two. What are you talking about?
She was a smart cookie.
I like this one.
Me too.
But I feel like she kind of set them up, right? Because, like, did she really need their help?
Oh, God, don't even get me started on that.
Yeah, well, I was like, why are you at? You don't need no man. Like, what are you doing?
And she had all her
I don't know. I
chicks
really
in their
like that
sneakers.
pig,
Yes!
actually.
She
That
had
was so cute.
all her little chicks in their kicks.
Their little white shoes.
Yeah.
Why are you making warthog noises?
Well,
No, it's the pig!
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
These voices,
Peter
by the
Pig.
way. But, yeah, so it's a silly symphony. It's the 45th silly symphony.
What about
And very original, she's worried about winter.
Yeah. But before we get
Another
there,
theme here.
it's based off of a Russian folktale called The Little Red Hen. And unlike previous ones like Babes in the Woods, where they're based off of folktales, but like Disney kind of alters it so it's family friendly, this one's really just like a reenactment. There's nothing really changed. It's pretty much the same story carried into this one. Like there's nothing different.
They just added Donald.
How are they allowed to do this?
What do you mean?
Like, do the same thing and pass it off as their own?
Well, because they're not like used.
They're not like owned or copyrighted by
I
anybody.
mean,
I think that, like, well...
It's the same thing with, like, I guess it's the same kind of thing with, like, film adaptations of, like, books.
No, you need the rights to the book.
You need the rights to the books, but it's not like you can't do it.
No, but you need the rights to the books.
You don't need the rights here?
But I don't think anybody
Yeah, that's
owns the
fine.
rights to these like folk tales because no one really knows where they came from.
Gotcha.
They just
I
like
guess that
right.
makes sense.
Yeah.
No, you're right, but he's just making a not so great
like,
comparison.
Yeah.
That's really what I'm saying.
Thank you. I appreciate
Thank you all for your
I
information.
appreciate that.
Thank you for your honesty.
Yep. But as Hillary mentioned over there, this is the debut of...
Donald
Donald
Duck.
Duck.
Anyone could have answered that.
well,
Didn't
I
have
was letting her take the glory.
Okay.
I was like, who?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah,
Donald Duck.
Why?
Yeah, so he looks more like an actual duck here with his beak is longer, his neck is longer, and
Yeah.
he doesn't look like that anymore. And thank God we have the subtitles on for this, or at least
Yeah.
you and I did, Victoria.
I did.
Because
I understood them.
how?
I couldn't
Yeah,
fucking
how?
understand them.
Really? I don't know. I understood them. I was watching
This
it
is
obviously
actually-
at work, and I had my AirPods in. And
This is actually like a problem that they had because what they were trying to do is they had trouble with the words being said, the audio, because they were trying to mix in
animal noises. And
animal
human?
noises with human words. So that's why.
You did a
that's
good job.
Well, that's actually
You
how.
seem to be the only one who thinks so.
Yeah, we don't agree with you.
Yeah, I don't agree.
I understood
I
every
think
little
Donald was fine, and this is actually the reason why we get Donald's voice the way he is, because like Mickey and Goofy, whatever, they just have weird voices, but they're not like animal sounding. Donald is quack-like because of this short and how they mix it together, and they just kept it.
Ah.
But he's fine, but like the pig, for example,
thing. Understood it.
He sounds creepy.
he's just oinking with like
How
words.
does he sound?
Mess.
Like that.
Yeah, exactly like that. All right, so the Wise Little Hen is released on May 3rd, 1934. It was actually released early for like a benefit program at the Carthay Circle Theater in LA. But if you don't like that, then June 9th, 1934. It was released for like a small amount of people, and then it had a natural release, whatever.
Okay.
Rated TVG. It has a runtime of 8 minutes on the dot.
That's too long for this shit.
We got like 10
That was like
minute
20
shorts coming
seconds.
out.
No, you said like, what, 7?
Oh, 7:40.
Yeah, that's over the 20.
It's 20 seconds too long. Those last 20 seconds are just...
Gotta be gone.
It's directed by Wilfred Jackson. Again, he directs everything now. Voice work by Florence Gill and Clarence Nash, who is the first voice of Donald Duck. Okay, so we
Wait,
open...
so was he Donald? Oh, wait, this is the first one we're seeing Donald Duck.
Yeah, so
I
he's the
forgot we
first
didn't
voice
move
of
on
Donald
yet.
Duck.
Okay,
And he's not like the continuation voice. They change voices, you're saying?
Well, when he dies.
Oh, well.
Because they gotta find a new voice
Right.
after he
Because
dies.
it's already 2021.
Because he's dead.
He's DEA
No,
dead.
I meant like. he
Alec,
goes on
I mean,
for quite
Hillary's
some
like
time.
sick of my
Yeah,
shit too.
he's Donald's voice for a really long time. Yeah. All right, we open up with a bunch of little tiny baby chicks outside a house, and from that house comes out. Stop making animal noises. I swear to God. I
the fucking
swear
mice
to God.
in my apartment. That's what it sounds
So
like.
from the house comes out a hen. You want to imitate a hen too?
I don't think I can. Ooh,
Yeah,
that was
there you
good.
go. So out comes a hen, and she hopes that these chicks will help her plant her corn. And this is a very addictive song that goes, "Will you help me plant my corn? Will you help?"
It's definitely not corn. It's corn.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know how.
I don't know how they squawked the word corn,
Corn,
but
yeah.
oh my God, was it good? Because I had no idea what the hell he said.
You have to watch these with subtitles on because you can't understand a
You would
single
have
thing.
no idea.
Yeah. But the chicks are more than willing to help. So
Yeah,
they
'cause
go.
they
They
wanna
were wearing
eat.
sneakers
Yeah,
and they
so
were excited.
they
and
know the
wanted
deal.
To,
to
So
eat.
yeah, so they follow the hen, and she stops over at Peter Pig. Gay Peter Pig is what they actually call him.
What is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because
Mhm.
he's like happy and jolly and whatever.
But he wasn't so happy.
No, he was
that's
kind of
that's what I was getting
He had a
to.
bellyache.
he sucked, and then he
Douchebag.
lived in a shack.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
who are you?
Yeah, it was
To
so
be like, what do you think? You're too good to help pick the corn?
yeah. So she
Like-
goes in. She asks Peter Pig to help pick the corn. No, plant
the
the
Corn.
corn because he's big and strong, and immediately he starts feigning a tummy ache.
Bellyache.
A bellyache.
Mhm.
Which,
Well, that's
like,
also
I don't know
funny.
about you guys, but that never got me out of shit
Well,
when I was a kid.
I actually wrote like that's the typical like fake sickness that you
Yeah.
always had because they could prove that you don't have a cough or fever
Right.
or anything like that. But a bellyache, how you gonna prove that somebody doesn't have a bellyache? So that's what every kid said in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One time, a teacher told me that if I pretend to have a bellyache too much, then they're gonna have to take my appendix out.
Oh God! Michael's always using a bellyache to get out of helping me with things.
Well, so
No, I'm not. I just say I don't want it.
I can't go food shopping. I have to poop. I have to shower.
I have to shower, yeah, so.
Dan likes having Michael just called out about having to poop.
Sweet Michael impression by the way.
Please, go pee again, please.
I don't have to anymore.
well, I thought it was could have been believable because he's a pig, and like the stereotype type is
They
that
eat
pigs eat a lot.
They eat slop.
Yeah, so like maybe he really did have a bellyache until then we see Donald Duck.
Yeah, so he fakes having a bellyache and he runs away laughing because he pulled one over
Yeah.
on this hen, and the hen goes further down the road all upset, and she runs into Donald Duck. And he's making his debut here, and she asked him also,
And I
will you
was
help me
so
plant the corn?
excited. I was so excited, and then
Yeah.
I was like, "Wow, Donald, I'm
And he's
disappointed
being
in
a
you."
jerk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
He was
Donald.
also a little creepy looking back then.
Yeah, he looks
Yeah.
more like a duck, which is kind of
He
unsettling.
was also he was
Yes,
also
it
a
is
jerk
unfair.
in the other film that he showed up in and that
Yeah.
we're gonna discuss later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I disagree with you on that, but okay,
I thought it was
we'll get there.
DICK.
I thought he was just trying to help, but then
Mm-hmm.
Mickey was a
Humor?
Humor.
anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, so Donald fakes having a bellyache too and denies helping, so the hen is all upset. Nobody's going to help her plant her corn, so she leaves and heads to the field to plant her corn with the chicks by herself.
Oh, what was me?
Donald winks at the camera to let you know this is bullshit, so he doesn't actually have a bellyache.
with like
He's a
80
filthy old
chicks,
liar.
she really needs to.
Yeah, I think the pig made a weird, like, evil grin at the camera, too, from behind the shed,
he
right?
did.
Yeah.
He did.
He, like, peeked out, was like,
You couldn't see that, but Michael was making a creepy grin.
Michael makes a weird grin.
The corn grew very, very fast.
Yeah,
So fast.
yeah.
Like in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, she plants the corn, and
It was like a time lapse.
I guess so. But
Well,
it
that's
just kinda
just
I
like-
said, wow, this
But
corn
that's
ain't
like-
playing. It's growing really fast.
but that's just like the grasshopper and the ants, how it just went from
Spring to
this winter, like,
Yeah.
in a matter of a walk.
So the corn grows, and now the hen wants to see if anybody will help her harvest her corn. So she makes her rounds again. She goes to Peter Pig, asks him again, "Would you help me harvest
They
my
were
corn?"
both. They were both together.
Yeah,
They were
together.
Yeah, they
They
were
were
together
at-
this time. They
they
were
were
dancing. And,
They
Yeah.
seen her coming.
yeah.
And they were
And
like,
they went-
"Oh no!"
Yep. So they both deny harvesting her corn.
And
So
she was
once
like,
again,
"Fine."
yeah,
saw that
she's gonna
coming.
go by
I'll do
herself,
it
and she's
They
gonna
did like a
harvest.
handshake.
And then she saw them like
Yeah.
snickering. Is
Yeah.
that the word?
And
Yeah.
she seen the handshake and the laugh.
Yeah.
So
that
then she
fell
makes all
apart.
this delicious food,
She makes a lot of food.
which
She
like
makes
I didn't know you could make that much
She
food.
Corn
with
makes
muffins.
corn. She makes cakes, muffins, cornbreads, corn on the cob with butter, and she makes corn soup.
I think it's
Something like that.
Like cream corn.
yeah,
I guess so.
Probably.
like a polenta.
A polenta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can make corn chips, corn tortillas,
Yep.
corn.
So many corn options.
Corn dogs.
Corn
They're
on
so
the cob.
corny. They're so corny.
Corn on the cob with the delicious butter.
You're so corny.
They made a point to talk about the delicious
they made,
butter.
Yeah, they mentioned the butter. Yeah.
Lots of butter.
Yeah.
Heaps of butter or something along those
Are
lines.
you familiar with the ongoing cholesterol problem in this country?
So she's planted her corn, she's harvested her corn, now she's made her corn into all these different delicious foods. So now she wants to find someone to help her eat her
Why
corn.
she even asked them is
'Cause she-
beyond
'cause-
me.
'cause I'm
She
telling
had
you,
the plan.
Like,
she
I got
knows
you
what
guys.
she's doing.
Oh, I
Yeah.
got something for you that you're gonna love.
So Peter
Fuckers.
Pig and Donald spot her coming, and they immediately know what's about to happen. So they start feigning a belly injury, like a belly injury,
A bellyache.
bellyache,
Which I
yeah.
also would just like to say, all of their bellyaches, they were so fucking dramatic.
They were.
Well,
Typical men.
Especially the pig. He was like hurling over like, really dramatically
Yeah.
snorting
I
and
got
like
that man flu going on.
yeah,
They do.
it was a little.
Also,
much.
I guess this is a bellyache that lasts like a couple months. Like, it's pretty
Because it grew corn and everything,
it's a
so
little
it's like,
severe
oh.
at this point.
Yep.
Like, I feel like something
I said
bigger
they're
is
either
going
lazy
on.
liars or have IBS.
I think it's the IBS.
Yes, they're not liars. It's Disney.
So she comes over and they think that she's gonna ask her to do something annoying. And she asks, "Would you help me eat my corn?"
Yep.
and they're like, oh, we're better.
Yeah. All of a sudden their bellies don't hurt anymore.
Wow. Magical.
So they would love to eat her corn, which sounds kind of dirty. Now
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah. So she gives them a basket that's covered up,
Yep.
and the two fight over it because they think corn's inside, but it's not corn.
It's castor oil.
A big old bottle of castor oil to
You know
heal
what
their
that's
bellies.
for?
To
Yeah.
help soothe their belly.
Yeah.
Belly aches.
And
it
castor
said.
oil's fucking vile. If
I-
anyone's ever had it.
I fucking love this from the hen. She
She's
played
a
the
fucking
long
savage.
con.
She played the long
She
game.
She knew exactly what she was doing. She
Uh-huh.
She
set
told
these
them.
motherfuckers up and they fell for it.
She
Hook,
did.
line, and sinker.
You know what food they didn't have?
What?
Popcorn.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can't make popcorn with already grown
Because the
corn.
pigs took it
You
all.
can.
Really?
It's the kernels.
No, because it's all.
But where's
in
the
I'll be
kernels,
back, Colonel.
But
Where are the kernels?
You eat the kernel.
The
So if
kernel.
you plant one
The
of those,
kernel
it'll turn
pops.
into a corn?
Yeah.
Instead of
Seed.
eating it?
It's
yeah,
a seed.
Really?
yeah.
So you eat your... They
Yeah.
don't taste like a seed?
It's
No,
really
it-
the popcorn is like just the seeds that are popped.
So the seed is on the inside of the
The
kernel.
kernel. The kernel's a shell like a sunflower
the
seed
part
almost.
that you eat is like
You have
the
any kernels in there?
fruit, or
Mm.
you know what I mean.
Oh.
And on the inside is the kernel, and it's the seed.
Mhm.
But you eat it because it's so small that it doesn't like really register as a seed for you.
Why do you think corn doesn't break down in your stomach?
I don't know. I never thought of it. Good to know.
You gotta go back for the kernel.
Corn is very bad for the soil, by the way. It depletes all the nutrients. Fun fact.
It does. It kills the ground.
soil.
Yeah.
Makes it.
Donald and Peter Pig were literally kicking themselves.
Well, I
Oh
like
yeah, they were.
I like this ending because you would think in like one of these like family cartoons, like the hen would like, okay, I'll be the bigger
No,
person.
fuck that.
No.
No, she's
No.
like,
She
you're
taught
gonna
them some
stand
humility
outside
right
my
there.
window and
And
watch
watch
me
us
eat all this fucking food in front of
Yeah.
She's like
We
rubbing her
eat it
belly.
all
like,
ourselves.
oh, it's so good, and they're just like watching her drooling. It's that's why I like this one. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the short ends with Donald and Peter repeatedly kicking themselves in the butt
Well,
because they're dumb.
I feel like Disney was into a lot of butt stuff.
I liked it.
I like
Me
it
too.
too.
I
Very good
didn't
one.
like it.
I
It's
think
No?
he deserves what they got.
Oh, I
too.
liked it. I thought it was funny.
Solid 8 in my opinion.
I gave it a 9.
Okay.
So yeah, I was right
I
there with
didn't
you.
read it.
I only think so because one, we got Donald Duck finally, a
Yeah.
character we all know,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I guess.
and then yeah, she was a
I
smart
don't think
cookie.
he's worth a 9.
And it actually made sense. Like the
Yeah.
punishment was
The,
worth it.
they had a moral, unlike the grasshopper, or not the grasshopper.
and the
Yeah,
ants.
Yep.
like oh yeah, you didn't work, but have our food.
Yeah,
I
that's
guess-
what I was
I
kind of
guess I
referring to.
liked
Like, he
it.
just ends up getting fed anyway. No, not
Right.
these two.
Yep,
No. You
I-
gotta work for your food.
I like it.
Yeah. What about the Goddess of Spring? I like that one a lot.
I like
I
it too, and that's
hated
our next
that
one.
one.
Oh my
no.
god, you want to know
Okay.
why I
Well,
liked
this one was
it?
weird.
It had so many historical inaccuracies, it really like made me fucking
I'm actually
crazy.
gonna turn to you,
So you liked it because of
Yeah.
that? Okay.
Victoria. I'm actually gonna turn to you because can you say what the story of the Greek, legend, whatever it is?
Okay, so Persephone is the goddess of spring, and in Greek mythology, she's married to Hades. So the way that she was snatched by Hades is not actually what happens in the like story, but whatever. I'm pretty sure her mom like has to bribe her to go down there or some crazy shit like that. But anyway, so they fall in love, they get married, and Persephone is upset though because she does actually miss being up, on the earth. So she comes up every year for half the year because she is spring. That's why you have the seasons of spring. But then during winter and fall, she goes back down into the underworld and spends half the year with Hades. And fun fact, Hades also has a relationship with somebody called Mint.
Okay.
Or Minthe. M-I-N-T-H-E.
All right. So that's all fine and good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
The description of the short says, "The lovely goddess of spring, Persephone, is kidnapped by Hades, thus bringing about the winter season." Now,
They don't
I
call
get
him
the
Hades.
no, I get the
Oh,
impression.
no, They called him Hades at one point.
No, they
He said
okay,
something
so
like
They
with-
called
with-
him Pluto.
Yeah, with subtitles on, he's referred to as Pluto, and the underworld.
There was another name for him as well that they referred to him as.
So I didn't even
They
get that.
definitely referred to him as Hades at one point.
Okay.
They did
But-
say Hades, but I don't think that they referred to him
they
as
said
Hades.
I don't know
they
who
said
they were
they
referring
were
to.
talking about the underworld.
The underworld was
I made
referred
note of
to
this
as Hades.
actually. They were talking about the underworld, and
Well, because
Where did I
she
write
says the Queen of Hades.
yes,
He declares her the Queen of
yes,
Hades.
which would
Yeah.
imply a space,
place.
like a kingdom.
Yeah.
But Hades isn't a place; it's the underworld, and he is Hades. And then later in the subtitles, they refer to him as Pluto. Who the fuck that is, I don't
yeah.
know. But he's not Pluto. And also, he looks like fucking Satan, like the
It's
cartoon
just Satan.
version of
At
Satan.
first I thought he was Satan.
And
I was like,
Yeah.
and Hades isn't Satan, and they're not in hell. The underworld is not hell.
Well,
in
they
Greek
made it hell.
mythology.
Right.
I know, but like the
They
underworld.
made it like she made a deal with the devil.
But that's not what happened in Greek mythology. So they totally took like multiple religions and just smashed them together. No.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it was a whole Greek mythology thing. Because I was like,
Me neither.
Because I go, why would he take spring? Wouldn't he want to take summer because she's hotter? You know?
That was good.
Well, despite all that, this is actually a pretty important one because Walt Disney and his animators used this short as like a test to see if they could do realistic animation, a style that they would later.
Which they cannot, because this goddess
Yeah.
looked like the inflatable tube man that they have at car dealerships.
They-
That's how she danced.
They do it as a test to perfect realistic animation. They need to do a little more perfecting.
But
Yeah.
did you know?
But they would use this as a test to see if they could do a feature film, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Humans moving around.
now that you say that, you can see some resemblances. Like if you think about, was this the one that had like the animals dancing by or like the animals
Yeah.
in a lake?
And
like,
the goddess herself looks like she could be plucked out of like.
She looks like
like-
Snow
But
White.
did
I
you
feel like
see
it
what
was
they did?
Snow
they,
White vibes
they
in there.
what they did though what I noticed, all the front part of the film was 3D and everything in the back was like they didn't care anything about the
Multiplane.
background
Yeah.
or anything like that. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
well, they painted her
It's-
toenails.
Yeah, like
She
the
had nail
animation
polish.
on this wasn't that good. Yeah, she had like white toenail polish.
Yeah.
But that multiplane thing you're talking about is what they start to do with their movies, and it creates that depth of field kind of look.
Right.
So it is
Yeah.
kind of a test in that realm as well. So yeah, like in that regard, it is kind of important because it kind of does add to setting up Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But it's released on November 3rd, 1934, rated TV Y7 with a runtime of 8 minutes and 58 seconds, getting a little crazy. Directed by Wilfred Jackson, animated by Cy Young, not that Cy Young, Hamilton Lusk, Les Clark, Dick Humor,
sorry, Dick.
What's up, Dick? Ward Kimball, Art Babbitt, and Wolfgang Reitherman, whatever his name is. Voice work by Kenny Baker, Jessica Dragonet, and Tudor Williams.
I liked this one. I liked it because it was so fucking inaccurate. Did they not study any Greek mythology?
you had the background
whatsoever?
to understand it.
Yeah.
I was just thinking like it was a really slow start for me. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, she's like her movement, everything like that annoyed me. And then once the little demons came out, I was like, oh, now we're getting
Yeah.
this was cool. That made me like, I was like, okay,
Also, did you
They were
notice
so cute.
right.
they were chanting like down in the underworld around the fire, and like the subtitles were literally chanting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what were
Yeah,
they
I
saying?
know, I was-
It was
Yeah.
just chanting, like
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
But they were saying something. Whether it was in
Right.
a different language or what, I don't know. But I
I
couldn't
think
understand it.
I think Disney Plus gave up.
Yeah.
They probably couldn't interpret it.
Because I was hoping that they would put the words up there and it just said chanting. I was like, they don't know either. They're just
Yeah.
giving up. They say whatever. They're just talking.
All these, yeah.
I liked it only from the historical standpoint because I completely understood what it was.
All right,
Yeah.
so we open up with spring. Animals are drinking by a stream, and a parade. I think these are children. I don't really know. A parade of children go by.
They're little flower people.
I guess so.
I don't know.
They're marching along and they're playing instruments, as everybody is in these. Flowers are out having a good time, and we meet the goddess of spring, Persephone. She takes a seat on her throne, and a bunch of flowers begin to dance at her feet, and together they form a crown for her head because she's going to be crowned the goddess of eternal spring. It's kind of like from Flowers and Trees when the caterpillar
Yeah.
was
turns
just
itself into
thinking
ring.
that.
This is just their
That's-
life now, I guess.
I wrote that at the beginning. I was like, before even hitting play, I'm getting flashbacks to Grumpy Stumpy Tree
Yeah.
and that whole disaster right now.
Yeah,
but
so
I hope I'm wrong.
that's-
LOL.
These flowers, that's just their life now. They're just going to sit on this woman's head, and that's their commitment.
Yep.
But then the sky turns gray, and from the ground spouts fire and a bunch of little devils. And then comes out of the ground Pluto, Hades, you can call him whatever you
Whoever
want.
he is at this point.
He's really just a devil. That's
Yeah.
really what he is.
Saved
He's
himself.
got the horns,
Yeah,
he's
he
got
has
the
the horns,
goatee.
yeah.
He looks like the classic depiction of a devil. The devil has chosen her to be his queen of the kingdom down below. She refuses this demand, but
He just scoops her up and takes
He's
her.
like, well, too fucking bad.
he's like,
bitch.
it
she's
wasn't
just
it
like,
wasn't a choice.
No means
Like
yes
this.
here.
He's like, I wasn't asking. You're coming with me, and she takes her down to the underworld, and
all her little critters then like are knocking on the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so sad.
yeah. First they battle
you
with
go?
like the little devils at first
Yeah.
who are like holding them at bay while
Yeah.
he abducts her. The wreath is left behind in the scuffle, and the flowers are all sad.
And so instead of being resourceful, they just all fucking sit there
Yeah.
Yeah.
and call it quits.
Yep.
And then it starts snowing.
Yep,
and
and
they're
they're,
just
still
and
there.
they're like, oh my god, what do I fucking do? You go
I'll just
survive.
lay in the snow.
Yep.
Let me just
And
rot
then,
here.
and then Pluto, Hades, Devil Man is like trying to like win her over. She's sitting on her throne, crying her eyes out,
surrounded by
Mhm.
gems
Yup.
and jewels.
And he's like, yo, none of these fucking diamonds are doing
Yeah,
it for you,
You're
bitch.
still
And
sad?
she's all like, well,
Yeah.
you stole me. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Did you think that big diamond was gonna cure her Stockholm syndrome?
Seriously.
That's what I wrote.
yeah.
Wouldn't help me. I don't think.
I couldn't even show it
Who
off
can
to
say?
anyone.
Yeah. Who can say?
Well, down in hell, they refer to them on Disney Plus as the imps.
Oh yeah, they did call them.
Is
Is
this
that-
a slur? Is this a bad word? Because it sounds like a bad word. I don't know. Imp?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know why. It just sounds like a
we
dirty
just
word.
don't
to
know.
me.
We just didn't know. We should have looked it up, but we
A
didn't.
small,
Siri.
a small mischievous devil or sprite.
So I guess it is literal. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna call them imps.
those little imps were so cute.
They're like mini devils.
They reminded me of like
Yeah.
little bob-ombs from Mario for some reason.
Yeah.
Their little feet.
They were
They
just
look like
so
little
simple.
Oswalds
Yeah.
to me, kind of
Little
without the
stick
ears.
legs and
Yeah.
arms and tails.
Pluto carries her to her new throne and presents her with a new crown as well. He declares her to be the queen of Hades, and this is where that confusion that we were talking about. I don't know. The little devils begin to chant, and this is what we were talking about. I have no clue what the fuck they're saying.
Mm-mm.
Disney Plus has no clue what the fuck they're saying. Michael's looking it up
It
right
says
now.
chant verse.
He still has no clue what the fuck they're saying. So they said something. I don't know what it is. Go back and look at it. We can just pretend it's that.
Shark bait! Wah!
Back on the surface, winter has come around.
Yeah.
Um,
That cold bitch.
I like in all these shorts, winter is like the depths of despair.
Yeah.
Well, because everything dies in winter.
Yeah, but like
So,
I kind
yeah.
of agree with that. Like it's just miserable and nobody's having a good
Yeah,
time. in
I'm
winter.
sorry to interrupt. Michael, how did you not find this? I typed in,
No,
what
you
do the
didn't.
imps chant in the goddess of spring? And it's the first thing that comes up.
What do they chant?
Michael, you need to work on your Googling.
It says,
It does.
your constant tears will drive me mad. I'm willing to do anything you say if
No,
only you smile.
That's the
That's
devil
what
says
That's
that.
what Hades
The
says.
Hades says
Yeah.
that.
Sorry.
Bad.
No,
Bad.
it's okay
You
because he really is
apologize
not
right
good.
now.
Where's the
Anyway.
squirt? Where's the squirt off?
Oh, the animals all crying cold tears because they just went right to winter from spring. No summer or fall. Back in hell, Pluto presents the goddess with a gigantic. Well, that's what it is. in
I
my
know,
mind.
it's just funny. Back
we
now.
go back to hell.
Meanwhile.
Meanwhile, in hell, Pluto presents a goddess with a gigantic, massive diamond. Which
And what the fuck is she supposed to do with that? It's basically
I
a
think that's why she
paperweight.
was so sad. It just didn't affect her at all because she just looked at it. It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
I can't wear
I
it.
can't wear it anywhere. I can't go anywhere with
Probably
it.
can't even carry it.
Yeah.
It's
More than-
literally a paperweight or a weapon.
That's nice. I'll enjoy it sitting in the corner.
With all my other things
Yeah.
you've given me that I'm not touching.
But her constant tears are driving Pluto mad with anger. He declares that he's willing to do anything she says if only she'll smile, which is actually like kind of oddly nice. I
in
feel
a
like.
way, but he did,
Like I feel like he's a
kidnap
devil.
her,
He shouldn't
so-
care.
He could have just not snatched her.
Yeah, snatching
I
aside,
don't know.
Snatching aside.
kidnapping aside. He's trying to make it work.
She doesn't want to make it work.
But he's.
Why should she
but
have
my-
to compromise?
my
But then she
being-
does, idiot.
My point
Yeah.
being is that like he's the devil. He's clearly the most evil form of a character you can get. He's literally the devil. But he's like he wants her to smile. He
I
wants
think
to try.
that I think our interpretations of religion are a little different.
Maybe he's trying, and I think she's willing to try to make it work too because she is like, all right, I'll come down for half a season, and then I'll go back up. They're trying.
But they even said at the end though that she was miserable for half the year. Why? Why does she have to commit to being miserable
But
for
she's
half
not
the
as
year?
miserable now because she can spend half the year up there,
I
which
just
is what
fe-
she wanted.
But she could have just spent all of her time up there if he just
wasn't
didn't
such a-
snatch her.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think she's willing to make that half-year compromise. Because
Why
maybe
should she have to do that?
She doesn't have to, but what I'm saying is I think she kind of wants to. Maybe she's kind of into him a little bit.
I mean, in the mythology, yeah.
Yeah.
But not here in what we're talking about.
I don't know. Belle loved the beast after he kept her captive. She went back for him. Maybe it's a little weird.
Because he was nice.
He's being nice
He
here.
was not that nice all the time.
He locked her in a dungeon.
And I love Beauty.
And
and the Beast.
kidnapped her father.
He gave her a room. That was before. All right, no, we're not gonna go into this.
All right.
But still, like, I don't know. I
She-
get the concept.
To be fair, she volunteered. Belle volunteered to stay there in
that's
place of her
true.
father.
I guess, yeah.
Persephone was minding her own business up on Earth,
Snatched.
and then just got snatched.
You got something you want to say?
No.
Oh.
We're not saying hi to
Spit it
Hades,
out.
right? No, because they say that.
I seen that too,
Yeah.
but
I
Me
Me
and
and Michael
sure.
have been sitting here scrolling. So
Yeah,
Hold
sorry.
on, we're not done yet.
Okay,
but
fine.
yeah, something to say wise.
Hold on.
So what I wrote with this,
you can't just quit. Let him go, like,
I'm done.
Tori's like, I'm over
So-
this one. Next!
I felt like with my interpretation, so spring was up top, right? When
Yes.
she was the goddess of spring on land, spring it was spring there. Hades came up,
Mhm.
fire everywhere. What does that represent?
A volcano?
Summer.
No.
It's hot. She gets dragged down.
Mm.
It's still hot. It's still summer. Up top, because she's not up there, what does it turn to?
fall.
She's crying. Tears are falling. No matter what he does, tears are
You
falling.
are reaching right now.
Yeah.
And then winter comes on land because she's down there.
I'm not buying this.
That's how I took it. That's
I'm not-
literally what I wrote.
I'm
All
not
right,
buying
whatever.
this.
You're entitled to your opinion, but moving on.
I
I'm not
thought
buying
similar to Michael. I didn't think all that, like, about all that mythology stuff because I didn't even know it existed.
Me, I didn't think of that either.
I thought it was, like,
The
about
4
seasons, too.
seasons,
I was like,
literally.
oh, so they're trying to explain how
Well,
this is how...
Well, it is
Yeah.
about the
They made the
seasons.
It's about the
season.
seasons,
It is.
I get the
It's about
concept.
spring and winter.
I just didn't like it. I was like, I get what they're trying to
It's
do.
about spring and
it's a
winter,
no for
but
me.
you have everything in between, you know? The sadness is fall, because fall technically represents dying.
Does it?
Winter represents
Yeah.
death. Spring represents rebirth.
Rebirth.
Summer represents living.
Yeah. I feel like the stretches when you said that when the earth opens up and it's fire, that represents summer, because I feel like it doesn't. I feel like it just goes from
Well, it's hot as
spring to
hell in
then
the summer.
fall. I feel like once she's gone, then it just suddenly starts to get colder. So they skip summer and then just go straight to fall and winter.
Okay,
I don't
fair
know.
enough.
All right, well, let's get through this ending. She requests to return to the world above. If she doesn't return, things that are growing there will die. Pluto realizes that this will. I mean, I guess he doesn't want it to be like overpopulated in hell. He doesn't want all these things dying and joining him. But he decides to have a heart, and he agrees.
So
That-
easily.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's trying to make it work. He's trying to appease her.
just stop.
And
And I will point out that the underworld is neither good nor bad. It is not actually hell. It's literally just a place that you go when you die. So they're
so exactly. So whether they
no,
these
they're
things-
making it sound like it's like hell, and they're like, ooh, flames. No, that's not how the underworld is, bitch. Okay.
Well, he decides he's going to agree to let her go back up if she promises to spend at least half a year down there with him, to which she agrees and swears to do so.
You know what this short was missing? The muses.
Mm.
Here in the underworld. Okay.
The goddess returns back to the surface and sits on her now snowy throne.
It's a good movie.
Instantly,
more
the snow fades away and sunlight and warmth return. The flowers are all happy. The animals are all happy. The goddess has her wreath bestowed back on her head.
Mm-hmm.
And the music tells us that this is why we have winter and the seasons instead of eternal spring.
Yeah.
The end.
We could have had eternal spring, though, if somebody just kept their fucking grubby paws to themselves.
That actually would have been nice, eternal spring.
Really?
I like eternal
Spring is
fall.
my least favorite season.
Well, in terms of like comfortable weather,
Fall.
I like winter.
I mean, I like fall weather, but
Fall,
Yeah,
you have
winter.
the comfortable weather
Mhm.
plus no
Because I
allergies.
like the snow.
Fall's my favorite, then winter. Lately, I've
I don't
been
know why
liking-
we're friends with them.
Lately, I've been liking the summer. Not as much as I like the cold, but I've been liking it because I want to be tan. If I'm tan, I'm happy, and that's all that matters to me.
Okay, Snooki.
tan everywhere,
Shut up, Gary.
Jan everywhere, hee hee.
Tan everywhere,
But-
Jan everywhere.
10 out of 10 would not recommend, so...
Yeah.
I gave this a 4.
What, you seem to like this one the most out of
I
everybody.
like it because there's so much wrong with it, if that makes sense.
No, it really
I
doesn't.
would give it like a 7.
Okay.
4.
Fine. Pass.
Pass. Alex is like, pass.
All right, next one is the Tortoise and the Hare.
I hate this one.
I love this one.
This one, like, felt really short, actually.
So here's why I hate this one. It's a ripoff of Bugs Bunny,
Yeah.
Well,
or vice versa.
vice versa.
I'm not sure which came out first.
This did.
And also, I'm like really over the whole like premise of this. I feel like I hear it all the time. Slow and steady wins the race. You know, shit like that. I'm over it. I don't care.
Well,
I don't like it.
you mentioned Bugs Bunny. This is actually believed to really influence that Bugs Bunny short of what is it called? I forget what it's called, but it's the Tortoise and the Hare version
It's
of the.
basically a shot-for-shot fucking remake.
This comes out 8 years prior to that Bugs Bunny short, and it's very similar. I mean, the hare in
looks
this one
like
looks
Bugs.
exactly like
It
Bugs
does.
Bunny. Yeah, it's like it's kind of like a discount Bugs Bunny. Really, it looks exactly like him.
Off
Just,
brand.
just different
Knockoff.
colors. Yeah, the one you find at like
Like
Dollar
his
Tree.
personality and stuff too is just so similar. Like his
Yeah.
mannerisms and everything.
Yep.
This is also number 3 in a row for Walt with the Academy Award for Best Short Film.
Well, good for you,
Yep.
Walt. Good for
He
you.
wins in 1935, and he doesn't compete against himself this time, so he actually beat 2 other people and not himself.
Cool.
Released January 5th, 1935, rated TVG with a runtime of 8 minutes and 36 seconds. Wilfred Jackson directs it again. Voice work by Pinto Colvig, Eddie Holden, and Marcelite Garnier.
I just like how this. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's a big spectator sport. Like, there's a lot of people watching.
Yeah, well, the first shot, it's like a half-empty crowd, but there's like the crowd's going crazy for this. But I do want to bring up the description on Disney Plus. It reads like Hide from The Office. Listen to how this is written. Big race, Hare, fast and in the lead, stops to loaf, and show off to girl bunnies. Tortoise, plodding along at steady, slow pace, wins, although Hare tries a last-minute burst of speed. Doesn't that like read like Hide with like in
Yeah.
America, Doctor number 1
In Japan.
in Japan? Like, the best.
They're giving out jobs upstairs. Why don't you go get one?
You paint very badly. We open up with the iconic Mickey Mouse face that plays before all the
Yeah.
shorts. First time that we see that. It's big race day. It's between the Tortoise and the Hare.
It's between Max Hare and Toby Tortoise.
Max Hare and Toby. He looks like a Toby, doesn't he?
You know
He
their
does look
nicknames?
like a Toby.
Yeah.
Do you know their nicknames?
Oh, it was on the back of their
Jackets.
jacket. I didn't write them down. What do you know what they
Got
were?
Blue Streak was the rabbit.
Blue streak.
Definition of Blue Streak is something that moves very fast.
Ah.
And Tortoise was slow but sure.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw it for a split second. but
Set it
I
on
didn't
their
get it.
robes.
They
Yeah,
were
on
like
the ropes, yep.
boxing robes.
And Toby's was so old and dingy looking.
He was like
Yeah,
a
he looked
hobo.
like a hobo. Yeah, I wrote that
It
down.
was so sad.
I liked in the crowd how there were 2 skunks.
Yes,
but, like,
I like that too.
nobody was sitting there.
No one, yeah, they did.
Aw, that's so
They're
mean.
fine though. They're having a good time. So the crowd goes crazy for Max Hare when he comes out. It's thunderous applause. And when Toby Tortoise comes out, they just all laugh at him and they don't take him
I
seriously.
know, but but he's such a good sport.
He's
such
very
a good
humble.
He
spirit.
very
could not
humble.
be nicer. He
I
wishes
love
the best
him.
man to win, and Max Hare immediately just
Just
mocks
a
him. He's like, "Thanks, I
dick.
will."
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he does the handshake
Pulls
thing.
away.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
why
like,
don't you-
oh,
Yeah.
ha,
He even said that was a good joke.
That
and
was
then
a
he
good
did it
joke.
again.
I know,
on
it's
me.
so mean.
I wanted someone to shoot that bunny.
I
so
know.
bad.
Doesn't
I had,
stand
like,
up for himself
in
at
the
I
all.
beginning,
know
I
how
had-
Alex likes bunnies.
Yeah, I was like, wow, he's a real dick.
I had helpless man thing for the tortoise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so sad.
Have I told you guys what my helpless man thing is, right?
No, but I just feel so bad for him.
So my thing is like if a and it's like specific to men, I don't know why. If a man is like is portrayed as like vulnerable and helpless and like they've been injured like emotionally, it like really like breaks me.
Yeah, it's sad.
And it like makes me immediately just want to like cuddle them and make them feel better. It's probably the maternal instinct. But like I don't know, it just bothers me.
But only towards men?
Yeah, I don't feel that way about women. That fuck them.
10 out of 10 for Toby.
So the whistle blows for them to take their place.
I was just thinking that song, damn it.
So that's it.
The whistle blows for them to take their places, and the gun sounds, and they're off. Toby Tortoise is scared by the gunshot and immediately
Spins in his shell.
Yeah, in his shell, and he gets
Shot!
popped in the ass a couple times.
Like, go!
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Butt stuff.
There
Again,
you
with the
go.
butt stuff. But the Hare takes off, and he's blazing to the countryside.
And then he takes a fucking nap.
He's so confident in himself that he decides he takes a nap. He knows what he's doing. He's not
joking.
actually taking a nap. Here.
Okay, but he's still laying down.
Yeah,
Like,
he
knocked
takes a
down.
nap by
Yeah.
a tree. The tortoise spots a hare, and thinks he's gonna like try to sneak by him like really quietly when the hare's been awake the whole time. He's pulling another one on the tortoise. So when he gets a little bit of a lead, the hare wakes up and he gets a good laugh, realizing that this idiot thinks he's actually winning, and he takes off and goes blazing past him again.
What a jerkwad.
And then he comes across this school of rabbit
Why
girls.
is he creeping on the fucking students?
Okay, that's what
Yeah.
I was like. They
That's
were
what
young
I know,
rabbits,
right?
right? They
I
look like
know.
little kids.
This was like
yeah, I was like, how
It's
old
a
are
school.
they?
like bunnies.
Like, you want to come play with us? And he's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
I wrote.
It's like, what?
How
They-
old are these little bunnies?
They call out to him, and my man stops, and he's like, "I'm gonna take a break and like go hang out with these bunnies over
These
here."
these
Yeah.
underage bunnies.
Yeah,
Like, that's so
they're clearly in
disgusting.
school, which is kind of gross.
Also, turtles are not that slow.
Yeah.
No, this
Like-
one is.
He's not really that slow. He does pretty well.
Yeah, no,
He's a tortoise.
he is at one point. He is at one point keeping pace with snails. Like they're
Right.
running
Yeah, and the
along.
snails
with
are cheering him on.
Yeah.
Which was really funny.
Yeah,
Good
but
sports.
he flirts with these bunnies, and they're really into him. And the tortoise passes by these bunnies, and they call out to him too. But
Because they're nice
He's
and
got-
stupid.
he's got no time for these hoes.
He's like,
I
I
got
have a race to run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he ain't got time for these bitches. And he keeps going, but he's not looking where he's going, and he crashes right into a stump.
I know.
And
Grumpy
And
Stumpy.
he runs right into Grumpy Stumpy, and they all get a big old laugh from it.
Just got that.
Yeah.
I remember Grumpy Stumpy.
So this tortoise just runs into the stump. He's a mess. So the hare thinks, I'm gonna take the time to go back to these bunnies and show off to them. So
Yeah.
he takes a bow and arrow, and he shoots it forward, and then he sprints ahead, and takes an apple, puts it on his head, and pierces the apple.
So, like, I never understood this. Is this, like, a thing that used to actually work on women or females in any capacity?
Shooting arrows off of your
No.
head?
Like, men showing off.
Like a Fonzie.
They're, like,
smacking
skills.
the jukebox in Happy Days.
Like, because for me, like, I would be watching that and I'd be like Kelly.
Is that supposed to impress
Is that supposed to impress me? And then you start doing one-handed push-ups. No, I just don't get it.
Well,
though.
this they kind of were impressed with. So his next trick is he's going to take a baseball, he pitches it to himself, he runs and he bats,
And then he catches the glove again.
sprints and catches his
And
own
catches the
home
ball,
run or
yep.
whatever. And that kind of gets like another round of applause, whatever. And his final trick that he's going to do is he's going to play a game of tennis with himself. He runs back and forth each side, volleying back and forth. They fucking love it. They go
But
crazy
either way,
for it.
he lost.
Yeah, he's either going to win or lose.
Mm-hmm.
But this is impressing the bunnies, I guess. But when we look forward to the end of the finish line, the crowd's starting to cheer because the tortoise is making his way to the finish
Which
line.
is so bizarre to me because in the beginning they were all rooting for the hare. Like now, why? So like, didn't they place bets? I'd be like, oh no, like my bet, I'm
Well,
gonna lose.
I mean, everybody loves an underdog, so
I guess,
Apparently
but then
not.
why
Yeah,
are
only
they
the snails.
cheering for the
They
bunnies
booed
in
him
the
at
beginning?
first. Yeah.
Yeah, only
Yeah.
the snails liked the tortoise, so I don't understand why the sudden change in
I
heart,
think they
but
were just
whatever.
happy that the race was ending.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably. It seemed to be taking a while.
Yeah.
They were like, it's
Yeah.
been a whole like 8 minutes and 40 seconds or
they
whatever
could probably
it was.
see in the distance that this fucking hare is like flirting with these bunnies, not taking this race
Yeah.
seriously at
And
all.
laughing at
And
him.
they're just
Yeah.
sitting there waiting, like, could you just end this race so I can go home?
Yep. And where the hell was the teacher watching these bunnies? I just don't understand.
Yeah, like I don't know.
But down by the finish line, the crowd starts to cheer as the tortoise draws near. And the hare, realizing that Toby is about to win, leaves these bunnies behind. He has no more time for them more, and he sprints to play catch-up. Toby Tortoise sees him coming and starts huffing and puffing, using like all his energy to win this race. He sees the finish line right in front of him. They're coming down to the finish line, closer and closer. The gap's getting smaller and smaller until they get to the finish line, and Toby Tortoise wins by outstretching his neck.
Yep.
In a photo finish, he's crowned the winner.
Yep.
He beat the hare. Who
That
would have
was-
saw,
that
who would have
was the
saw it
best.
coming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So unexpected.
So they pick him up and they celebrate with him. They carry him off, and the hare, I guess, goes back to the bunnies. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
they
we
don't
don't
want
know.
him.
I hope
They don't
he's
want that loser
stripped
anymore.
of his title.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
too old.
Canceled.
Yeah.
The way we do things in 2021. Cancel culture. Get out of here.
It was
We're too
alright.
old for that. We're millennials.
I don't know. It was
True,
alright.
I don't really
I
actually
like it.
believe in
Yeah.
keeping
Cocky.
people
It was
alive.
really quick. I felt like it was just kind of over, really.
Well,
It was
I just don't like that story.
It was
Yeah.
also just like we know the storyline already.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
feel like these ones where like everybody knows these
Yeah.
stories are just kind of whatever.
I feel like the other ones though I could tolerate more. This one I just was like, all right.
Yeah.
Slow and
I just
Cinnamon
really
Grace,
liked the
we get
tortoise
it.
out of the whole thing,
Yeah, me too.
and
Yeah,
that's
he
what
was
got me
sweet.
liking it because he was. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's funny. But that's
I mean that's fine. I mean I like the tortoise too.
they played the characters well.
Yeah,
and
they
I
did.
think that's what I take
Yeah,
out of it.
Always losing his hat and then catching his hat.
Yeah, exactly.
He was
Fine.
like Spacey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final one we have is Mickey Mouse in the band concert.
This was
You
the
think-
longest 10 minutes of my life. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, didn't like it.
It was 10 minutes, and there's just so much shit going on in this
I
movie. It's like
know.
impossible to keep everything. And by the way, you think that there's a lot of silly symphonies that we're missing? This is the 73rd Mickey Mouse short.
And what was
that
the last
made.
one?
Well, that was a silly symphony,
Oh,
but this
yeah.
isn't a silly symphony. This
Okay.
is just a Mickey Mouse
Right,
cartoon.
right.
At this point, 73 of them have been made, but this is only the third one that we're seeing on the network, so I have no idea where all these 70 other ones are. But it's also the first Mickey Mouse short film to be produced in color. Because like all the other ones were black and white, they've got that whole
Oh.
3-color strip Technicolor thing, and they use
Yeah.
it here. It's released on February 23rd, 1935. Rated TVY7, runtime of 10 minutes and 2 seconds, and it's 10 minutes of mayhem. It's directed by Wilfred Jackson and Walt Disney, and it animated by a million artists. I'm not gonna put all these
No,
out there.
thank
There's
you.
just a
Think you were in
million.
there?
Everyone that you've heard that's done one of these before, they did it again. Just use your imagination.
This had like really big Philharmagic vibes.
I said
Yeah.
that. I go,
Yeah.
will this be like Mickey's Philharmagic? Question mark?
Yeah.
It kind of is. Voice work is only Clarence Nash, who's Donald Duck. I don't think Mickey speaks at all.
No,
So it's
No.
just
No, he was
Makes
just
cranky
angry.
faces.
Yeah, so Donald's the only one that actually speaks in it.
And Donald was a jerk again in this one.
Yeah.
I don't
So
agree
So
with
was
you.
Mickey. Mickey
It
was
was?
a dick.
I
Donald?
think Mickey was a jerk
Mickey
in this
was a
one.
jerk.
He just
Why
kept
was Donald a
breaking all
jerk?
his instruments. He was just trying to
He
participate.
just seemed unnecessarily
No,
angry.
he was not trying to participate. He was blatantly playing the wrong song.
He
I
was
think
playing
that's
the
all.
wrong
I think
song.
that's all he knew how to play.
Yeah.
I thought he was trying to just like
can't join the band
participate.
then.
Yeah, I thought he was too. I thought he was just trying to be part of the band.
No, he was
Yeah.
blatantly. Did you have your subtitles on for this too?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
they kept saying that he was
I know.
playing.
Yeah, I know. But I didn't interpret it as him being like a dick. I interpreted it as him being like,
Oh, I wanna
don't-
play with them.
Yeah, I don't know how to
No.
play
He's trying to
anything,
steal
and
the
these
show.
songs sound
He
You think
really
so?
similar anyway.
He was definitely trying to steal
I mean,
the
if
show.
he really wanted to steal the show, he could have just kept on selling ice cream because
Well,
he was
it-
ruining it that
yeah,
way anyway.
It
Yeah.
also seemed like that he was like playing to make them mad.
Yeah.
Like he knew that.
Really?
Yeah, that's the
yeah,
impression
because
I
he was
got.
No,
like,
I didn't get
he
that.
was breaking his own like flute. He was like.
Well,
pulling
he did
it out
that on
from
purpose because Mickey broke it twice on him the
Yeah.
same way.
So
So he said, "Haha, you can't do it this time."
Yeah, but
Well-
like, and then he kept pulling them out of his ass.
Well,
like,
you know what? Now I see
Yeah,
your point of
let
view
it
because
never
he
flip.
literally had like 50 fucking flutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how?
Anyways, we're
I
getting
guess-
ahead
I
of
guess
ourselves.
you're
You
right.
can tell us how it happened.
Yeah,
starts.
it opens up with the classic Mickey logo again. I'm gonna try to say everything that happened, but there's so much shit. The band is on stage. They've already got a nice round of applause. I heard that, by the way. They take their bows and wave to the crowd for the performance that they just had. And next up is William Tell Overture.
Yeah, it's like Mickey. Oh, and also I think Goofy and Clarabelle Cow are in the
Yep.
band as
They
well.
are, yep.
Yeah,
I
they kind
also
of like
wrote
battle each other with their
a fat
instruments.
pig too.
Yeah, there was like a bunch of
That's so
animals,
mean.
but I recognize
They were
Goofy
like
and
very
Clarabelle.
overweight pigs.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Busting out of their marching band outfits.
Busted pigs.
Busted.
Busted. Mickey's our conductor.
Girl
Mickey's our conductor. The band begins to play. He's not happy with their performance at all. He's specifically not happy with the tuba player in the front and the trumpet player who are just playing like way too loud. I guess he's scolding at them. Just
Yeah,
giving them
Mickey's
looks.
just like really has no patience.
He really wants this shit done right and once, and that's it.
Okay, well maybe your rehearsals should be a little more.
Yeah,
Yep.
he was not a
Yeah.
good conductor.
No.
From the crowd, we hear a familiar voice. It's Donald Duck again, and I've never been to a concert where there's a hot dog vendor.
Selling hot dogs and lemonade.
Hot dogs, lemonade, ice cream, and peanuts he's selling. They're literally in the middle of a performance, and he's just yelling, hot dogs, lemonade. Like, you would never see that at, like, a concert that
Yeah,
you go to.
No,
It's
you
kind of weird.
baseball
wouldn't.
game.
Baseball
Yeah.
games, yeah.
So,
And they only do that during like in between innings too. or
Yeah.
something, right? Like okay, anyways.
so he decides to take a break from selling all these, foods. And he brings out his own pipe and he plays a little tune. And it's a nice little callback to Steamboat Willie because he's playing
Turkey in the Rye.
Turkey in the Straw?
Turkey in the
Straw.
Turkey in
Why
the
did
Straw.
I say rye?
Yeah. He's playing Turkey in the
Rye.
Catcher in the Rye?
Catcher in the Rye. Whatever.
Yeah, and Mickey starts to lose control of the performance of the band. They're playing way too fast, and yeah, it's just absolute mayhem. Mickey realized... Go ahead.
See, I wrote Mickey is his usual dick self, not wanting Donald to play.
That's what I wrote too at first.
No,
He-
I
well, I will
thought
say
Mickey
he is...
was mad Donald stealing his
And I
thunder.
said, maybe if Mickey let him play, they wouldn't have this rivalry that they have today.
Yeah.
I just wrote, why does Donald want to ruin Mickey's concert?
I mean, he was already kind of ruining, like,
It was
Mickey
going-
was already ruining it because he kept on stopping saying, you're wrong, do this, do this.
Well, I mean, something
It's a
was
concert.
something was going right because we opened up with them all applauding and
Yeah.
everything
I
going
guess,
crazy.
I guess you're right.
No, they were just
also,
excited.
like, you can't just join
They were
a
applauding
concert
out of
in the
fear.
middle of them
Yeah.
playing. You need to be a member of the band. Like, Donald was not a member of the band. You need to audition, and you need to,
Maybe
like...
he did all
there
that.
are
I
rules.
think, I
maybe
think
there's
Donald
a
was
backstory.
like the best player there,
Yeah.
and he,
Maybe Donald auditioned and Mickey was like, no. And Donald was like, well, I'll show you, bitch. I'm the best one here.
Maybe
Yeah.
he is the best one,
because
but you
even
also...
all the band, even as we go along, all the band players were mean to him too. It wasn't even just
Yeah.
Mickey.
Because they were ruining their performance.
Well, they sucked.
They
Have their
beat
own
the-
performance. Maybe they... It's...
Get your own concert.
I don't know. I still think Donald was wrong in this, but...
Okay.
Well, Mickey breaks Donald's pipe out of frustration because he's ruining his concert, in his eyes at least. But Donald came prepared because
Which
he has
is kind
another
of-
one up his sleeve.
Which is kind of funny, though, because when you watch PhilharMagic in Magic Kingdom,
Donald ruins it again.
Donald throws the flute.
Mm.
And Mickey's like, what the fuck you doing? Don't throw my instruments.
And it boomerangs on back and
Yeah.
hits him. Yeah. So Donald has another pipe up his
Is
sleeve.
that based off this?
I don't know.
No, but me
it's
and
kind
Mickey
of similar.
both agree that it gave us PhilharMagic vibes.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Mickey gives Donald a harsh look when he brings out his second pipe, and Donald decides, all right, I'll just break it on my own then because he knows he's going to do that.
Yep.
The band is completely out of control now. They're all over the place. So Mickey
And
tries
then there's
to...
a bee, and the bee is starting to cause, like,
Well, you're
crazy
way
chaos.
far ahead.
Well, you are taking too long.
I'm taking too long. Okay. Well, we're at the bee now, I guess, and the bee is on Donald. It goes in Donald's pipe,
Buzzing around.
buzzing around. So Donald decides he's gonna try to throw ice cream at the bee, and it misses the bee. It goes in a trumpet pipe, horn, I guess you'd say, and the trumpet blows the ice cream out. It hits Mickey, and it goes down his back. And he does like that weird dance you do when you get like
That,
ice
like-
dropped in your back,
yeah.
and you like try
But
to shimmy it out.
and you notice the band played with
They scored him.
Yeah.
with Mickey's
Yeah.
Yeah,
conducting.
like cha-cha music.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Where'd they go?
Wait, can we also just discuss real quick, why was Mickey's coat so big?
Oh, he's
Oh,
pulling
no.
his sleeves up the whole time.
Yeah,
It's
his
like
coat
down
was,
to his
like-
ankles.
Because he's
Yeah.
a little mouse.
He stole his
Yeah.
coat from
Yeah.
the
He's
real
a little
conductor.
man.
He
Yeah.
was not a real conductor.
Maybe Donald was the real conductor.
Well,
Maybe.
is he that much taller than him?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
How
definitely.
much? Like a few inches?
He's bigger.
Feet?
I don't know. Go measure them. Look it up.
So in the
Anyway.
distance, storm is now
A
approaching. A
tornado!
tornado's making its way to the concert. The
You-
tempo picks up.
Do you know why though?
They changed the song.
The
Yeah,
song
'cause the
name
song-
is the
Yeah.
storm.
Yeah,
It's a twister.
yeah. The storm makes its way closer and closer, and the audience sees it coming.
And they
Donald-
run away.
they-
Like,
the
oh, shit.
furniture turns into
Yeah,
like
the furniture
people.
even runs away.
people and runs away with them too.
Yep.
Donald sees it coming, and he starts to run away too, but he gets caught up in the tornado, and he gets
It's-
like trapped in a tree.
Yeah,
and,
and he
like,
gets
ties
like
and twists
braided
up.
into the
And
tree.
then the rest of the band gets sucked into the tornado,
Band
and they're
gets-
still expected to play.
Yeah.
They do though.
They do
They're
play.
very
they are
dedicated.
like
Kind
they-
of like right now, we're in the middle of a panorama.
Well, they are
and
like
expected to work.
they are like
Pandemic?
Yeah.
Panorama.
It's like a thing.
Yeah.
You don't have TikTok?
No.
Okay, it's like a thing where you insert any P word for pandemic. Like
Oh.
like we're in the middle of a paparazzi. We're in the
Oh.
and it's
just
just
a
like
big
a,
old
Oh.
pistachio
yeah.
going on.
Mhm.
So
I didn't have a
Can
stroke.
you use the word we're in the middle of a penis?
Yeah.
Does that work?
Sure.
Okay.
always.
We're in the middle of a penis.
Your
So
camera might not find that funny.
Band gets sucked
A
up in the
pandemi Lovato.
A
I've heard
pandemi
that one.
Lovato.
Yeah, I've heard that one too. I don't know why.
Anyways.
I like that one.
Yep.
The band gets sucked up into the tornado, and they're like the orchestra on the Titanic. They're going down with the
They're
ship.
going
Yeah.
down no matter.
No matter what they're
They
playing.
are.
They were
So
committed.
they play and they get brought up higher and higher into the sky until the music stops for a second, And then they start to play themselves back down, and they come like crashing down onto the stage,
Yep.
all over the place.
And then Donald is the only one clapping for them.
he stayed behind and he clapped for them, and he applauded.
Hillary's not having it.
So that actually debunks the whole he's trying to ruin it.
Hillary is having none of it. Guys.
Honestly, I don't remember him clapping.
He
for
Yeah,
was
He
them.
was the only one applauding. He was
He's
like,
the only
"Woo!"
one.
And
who
then they
says-
were mean and threw shit at
Yeah, I
him.
was
And
like,
then,
what the hell's
and
wrong
then he
with
tries
these
to play the
people?
flute again, and then they're fucking dicks to him.
Yeah, he's the only one applauding. He says bravo. I guess they think they're he's like mocking them, so they all start throwing their
Throwing
instruments at him, and he
Maybe
plays.
he probably was mocking
He
them.
might have been.
No, he wasn't.
And he plays a turkey in the straw one more time, and the short closes,
Yeah.
and Donald, I guess, gets the last laugh. I don't know.
I
And
think
that
he
was
deserved
band
the last
concert.
laugh in that. I'm getting a little sick of Mickey's shit. Not,
I
Yeah,
don't
because
get why
even-
Mickey is so loved.
Love. I know.
But
I'm
then
starting
again,
to feel that way too.
on-
I'm just. I feel
Okay,
like
so
he's not very
when we
nice.
met Mickey in the other podcast, he was a dick.
Yeah. He's
However, okay, he's still a dick. However, we met Donald the same way. He lied about a stomach ache. He was
That's
still a
true.
dick too.
Oh, that's
So
true.
they are kind of both dicks.
But I feel like we kind of like assume that Donald, like now he's grouchy. Like when you
Yeah.
see, like like he has an
that
attitude
maybe
problem.
Mickey made him grouchy.
But Mickey's
Maybe.
always acting all happy, like he's not a big DICK to his friends. Hi everyone. You know, like let's get the mouse like he's so happy all the time.
Yeah.
But really, deep down, he's not that nice to the people closest to him.
Why is Dick the one curse that everybody spells out here? And nobody just says. That's
I
twice
say
so
dick.
far.
I also
don't
say
know.
douche pickle.
Usually, I just
It's
say
because-
all the bad
it's
words.
because
so.
I spell it out.
Maybe I
a lot.
spelled it
okay.
out just out of habit from I don't know from hearing it.
DICK.
So I don't know. I thought this. I wasn't crazy about this one.
No,
Yeah, neither.
I wasn't either.
Yeah.
I so far I really haven't liked any of them. The ones that have like the classic,
Mickey.
like the Fab Five.
Yeah.
Even though we've
Okay.
only seen like. Well, actually,
Two.
no, we have seen all
Three.
the Fab Five.
It's because in all
Oh,
three there's
actually,
Mickey.
yeah.
and
Yeah,
Yield.
We saw Daisy.
Oh no, we didn't
No,
see
we
Daisy.
didn't
Oh,
see
no,
Daisy.
no Daisy,
I
yeah.
want to know when
No
we
Pluto either.
And
when do we see Daisy for the first time? I'm curious.
I don't know.
it's just gonna be a surprise.
I
We
guess
have to
so.
wait and see.